All right. So we're in the middle of the holiday season. We're committed to it now, even from a retail or like an economic basis. Like we are entrenched in the holiday season at this point. Just about everyone is probably doing extra shifts, pulling overtime, especially if you're out there in the retail environment or in a field that's kind of reliant on the retail environment, a retail sphere. So, if like doesn't matter who you are, I think basically everybody has a favorite holiday, whether that's Christmas is obviously still number one, Halloween is number two, just statistically. For me, number one is the 4th of July. You have, summer barbecues and just the stable, warm weather, just all of that, right? It's so good. Gunpowder, like it's all good. But most people, I guess, because they're not mentally ill the way that I am, don't have like a hierarchy of it. They're like, well, this one's number one, that one's number two. You just have number one, and then everything kind of ties for second, right? Or you even, maybe you don't even like pay attention to like, oh, it's that holiday. I better run out to the gas station, get something for somebody really quick. But I have all of them basically kind of stratified. I have number one is 4th of July. Number two is Thanksgiving. And there's an abundance of reasons for that. Number one is that it's cool just getting together. You have a great meal together with the people that you care about and love, right? And after that, what we would do is you have the food, the turkey, all that good food. You'd talk and laugh around the table, talking about stuff, getting caught up with people you haven't seen in a long time. And then you'd clear the plates, bring out the littler plates, pie with ungodly amounts of whipped cream on there, and just all that stuff that you eat afterwards that makes you feel sick, but it's so good. And then you would clear all those plates away, and we would bust out board games, Scattergories, and Trivial Pursuit, and everything. And we would just split on one side of the table or another. You'd have two big teams, and everyone would go around, and we'd answer questions, and there's all the things that you like, just continuing, laughing and talking, and pause the game for this conversation that's going to go off for 20 minutes and waste everyone's time. And it would go way past midnight and beyond as we would it was a really great time. I mean, no alcohol needed, right? Just good, wholesome time. And then we would all pack into our cars, and then we would go home, and we'd get home at like 4 or 5 in the morning on Black Friday, and we would just sleep and eat leftovers, and it was great. It was a great experience. None of this pressure to buy stuff for people. Like you sharing old family recipes and all that. Like it's a great experience. So imagine my distress, I guess, given that, with how it just continually seems to be eroded by the Christmas season. That is, what used to be cordoned to December 1st on has been moved up to Black Friday on. And as major retailers like Macy's, Walmart, Target continue to open their doors earlier and earlier on Thanksgiving evening, it just seems more and more that we just don't care about Thanksgiving anymore, because we want to just hurry up and get to the buying and the commercialism and the economic engine that is Christmas. And if there's anything in our society that's more kind of symbolically represented by what an holiday is, the essence of that holiday is, it's how we've done that with specifically Thanksgiving. Because you can argue about, well, what is Christmas? Is it the gift giving or is it the gift receiving? Likelihood is, if you're a kid, it's about the gift receiving. And then once you get to like, seems 15, 16 years old, just people stop getting you stuff, and so then you kind of have to turn to making it about giving instead, because otherwise you don't get anything like out of the holiday at all. Whereas Halloween, it's about the costumes, right? You dress up, put your kid into a Night Fury or whatever costume, walk them around, get free candy from the neighborhood families. Everything's got its thing that's dedicated to it. But with Thanksgiving, when it's the essence of it is gratitude, and gratitude is a negative economic posture. Negative meaning that you're giving out rather than you are receiving in, which would be positive, where you're adding to. So there's not a lot of money to be made there. So there's not a lot of economic or kind of positive financial gain to be had there, unless you sell turkeys, right? So I think that's when it's tied to, so you have that gratitude, generosity, right, kind of flows out to when you're truly grateful, you're freely generous, both of which come out of contentment. Because you're content with what you have, you're not looking for that next flat panel OLED or whatever, flat screen. You're not looking for a new car. You're not looking for whatever, because what you have is enough. You're satisfied. It's hard to make money off of that. So I think in some ways, Thanksgiving is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, but I think we need to do more as a society to emphasize it and give it the credit it's due, that if you're going to spend the amount of money that you're going to spend in December, at least take a couple of days, a couple of 24-hour periods in Thanksgiving, in November, to just be like, you know what? I am grateful for what I have. Look for opportunities to give to other people who don't have what you have. That's what I'm saying.